for another one. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Much love. And at the gate, IB Rules checking in. Hey, much love. Thought and love that counts there. Hope you get to check out the stream here later, at least catch a replay. We are exclusive over here on YouTube. Much love, everybody. See Pixie out there. Jay. Deanne, Kathy. Good to see all my mods. Thank you for the feedback there. Dub C, Jim West. Thank you to Kev Bar, Tooge, Hoodie Ross, anyone else out there that shares the stream. Much love, Tacos, Panther. Good to see everybody. Hope everybody's doing good. Got plenty to talk about here tonight. I was debating on what to put in the title last minute. It's just a piece of it. We've got several things going on. Got several stories in several different departments here stacking up. Yeah, much love. Much love. Yeah, if you got anything you want to get to me, dabu7@yahoo.com. At me in the chat if you can. Or hit me up on Twitter or X. You can tag me over there. I try to watch those areas. I only got 2 eyes, so use one to read the stories off the screen and try to use the other one on the chat, so to speak. And be able to respond to what you guys are saying got going on. Yes, and you got a new badge out there. Yeah, I finally figured out how to do the custom badges here on YouTube. So for anyone that joins the underground, you'll get a badge. And like every month, 1 month, there's an image. 2 months, there's an image. They change throughout all the way up to like a year. Flip. That's right. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good. You and everyone else out there checking in tonight. Appreciate the grind. Granite, thank you for the 3 coffees. Right out the gate, getting it started. Appreciate the love, guys. Really do. Means a lot. And again, I'm going to close down and think shout outs to Vet. Shout outs to Beard Vet out there sharing the stream. Much love. Again, thank you to everybody out there that shares. IB becoming a member of the underground. We're going to take it up to space to start this thing off. Like I said, we got several kind of big stories here. I'm going to bust out the telescope. If I can find all the pieces and parts. I just got an old Galileo. But it's worth it. It's better than nothing. To try to lock in to this comet. If you do not know, this comet, Atlas C2023A3, was expected to die or explode or disintegrate when it went around the sun. It did not do that. Certified health, thank you. It did not die. It did not dive into the sun. It did not fall apart like Comet Ison and others in the past. It has emerged, and it's brightening. And they say that it's brightening rapidly. So this kind of caught them off guard, and like, man, this is going to be very bright in the sky here mid-October. Thank you, Carl. So get ready. We're about to have a little show in the heavens in a crazy window of time. There's going to be a harbinger, and not one. Oh, we got a couple crazy ones. Crazy ones, guys. This is just, when it comes to the heavens, and the Lord said, anyhow, that let these things serve as signs. We just had the whole blood moon, harvest moon type deal that just happened. And then the announcement that this thing's going to emerge. I will say this. If you're trying to check it out in the coming days, as this thing's coming out from behind the sun, be careful, especially with the telescope. You fry your eyes. You got to have the right equipment out there, binoculars, anything like that. Do not catch the sun with anything like that. It will fry your eyes. But yes, eyes to the sky. Josh, much love, respect, and thank you. This is surprising. We've been waiting to see something like this. Now, they say that right now the comet was only 6 degrees above the horizon. And you can see a shot of it right here. Okay, and this was using binoculars. And it's estimated to have a visual magnitude of plus 43. They say that this is good news because it's intact, and many people are going to be able to see this with the naked eye. Let me see here. They say they anticipate a bright comet. It makes its closest approach to Earth on October 12th. So I'd pay attention to these dates because people are going to be taking pictures. People are going to be reporting this massive thing in the sky. And not one, but another mystery object is coming in. I'm telling you, when it comes to space events, all of a sudden we've got 2 massive objects that just popped up out of nowhere on our doorstep. One is this. The other one's going to blow your mind here in a second. So this one, October 12th, it's going to be 0.47 AU away. And it's going to be in the constellation of Virgo. It will be at a negative magnitude when it emerges into the evening sky on October 10th and onward. And cognitive thinker Kevbar, thank you for all the coffees, my brother. And the comment. Happy Friday. Much love, my brother. God bless. Big time. But what this means when it goes negative, it means it will be, right here, negative magnitude means the comet could be visible in broad daylight to the naked eye, especially on October 9th, when the light from the nearby sun will be forward scattering all the comet dust. It's going to be lighting this thing up like a Roman candle in the sky. Again, thank you, Kev Barr. Isn't that kind of crazy? Out of nowhere, we're going to have this spectacle. It's going to line up pretty good. You guys get any images of this thing, let me know. I'd like to share it with everybody. Let everybody see what you're seeing. And you may catch an amazing shot that no one else could have ever caught. Clear skies, pending with the weather and all. But hey, this is going to be going on for several days. And, yeah, it's going to be good. At Dabu7 at yahoo.com. Again, if you get anything here. And Steve, much love. I see you in the chat. I was just trying to catch everything there. All right, I'm gonna give you the second bit here. This is crazy. They are saying in a little more than a week, we're going to have a second moon. And this is what they're calling it. They're calling it a second moon that's coming in. What this is it's an asteroid, so to speak. So we had the comet that just popped up out of nowhere. Now we got this asteroid that's coming in, and it's coming in so close that it's going to be staying in our orbit, and you're going to be able to see it in the sky. And all of a sudden they're saying a second moon. So apparently this thing is going to be huge and bright. And this is just kind of crazy. This is just kind of crazy. I'm going to play the clip. This guy's kind of loony on here, but here we go.
More than a week, it won't be just the two of us anymore in orbit.
Yeah, that's right. We are talking about the Earth and the Moon. Starting on September 29th, 2 becomes 3.
It's true. A small asteroid that was discovered last month is set to become a mini-moon orbiting around Earth before it leaves our orbit. Researchers say the mini-moon will hang around for about 2 months before it falls out of orbit around Thanksgiving on November 25th. The mini-moon!
Okay.
Did you just hear that? Now, I don't think so. This isn't how things work out here, man. Okay, when an object comes by, it comes by at such a speed, it comes by and it flies by. We see them all the time. We see these near-Earth objects come by all the time. They whiz by in a day's time. They don't stop and hang around in our atmosphere for a couple months just chilling and decide they're going to dip out on Thanksgiving. This is wild. A newly discovered object, like this is huge, to be honest with you. Where'd this thing come from? Out of nowhere, all of a sudden the mystery object is closing in and it's going to be hanging around our planet for a couple months and then disappearing. Get out of here, dude. No, that's what they're telling us. That's what they're telling the whole world. Okay? I just showed you the clip. This has been repeated, I'm sure, regurgitated across all the mainstream outlets across the United States and wherever. Whole world's going to see this. Whole world's going to see this just like they're going to see Comet Atlas. So this is fitting to get interesting. We've got two heavenly harbingers or whatever entering the fray like at the same time. This is you remember when Oumuamua went by? Oumuamua went by, and it was said to be the first interstellar object to ever come through our neck of the woods. That's what they were telling us at the time. Oumuamua was long, cylindrical in nature, metallic in nature, and they admitted this, and seemed to be spinning. And when you know it, as soon as it crept by us, it picked up speed and lifted off and took off, and they told us all of this. So it was a scout team. That's how I see it. And when you look up what the term for Oumuamua means, it means scout, forward scout team. Like if the big dog's coming in, military's coming in, you always send a scout team out ahead of you. That's what they named this thing. Okay? Now all of a sudden, we've got a mystery object popping up that's going to hang out in our atmosphere for a couple months. I've never heard of anything like this. Quite like this. If they just picked it up last month, okay, in terms of the astronomy and how I know it, what they do is they collect data over time. And they observe it. And it's through these observations that they get all the data and they build models, okay? They track it. And then they punch all this into the model and it kicks out more. If they get another observation, they add it to the model. It kicks out more. And the more and more data they can feed it, well, the more you have collectively here. But when an object pops up like less than 30 days ago, and you have no history on it, it's very hard to get its trajectory. They need observations. You'll hear this time and time again. So this is just crazy to me, how they know so much about it, that this thing that just came out of nowhere is going to hang around and it's going to leave. I don't know. It's just, I wonder if it's got any companions with it. And if you see this, if anyone out there gets any shots of this, let me know. somebody gets a crazy double shot of like Atlas and this thing and the moon, or a triple shot of the moon, something crazy. Hey, whatever. Just let me know. Eyes to the skies, man. Said it for a long time, but for real. Eyes to the skies from here on out. We've entered this crazy window, and the heavens are telling us this at the same time, I feel. They're like, hey, something's going on. Pay attention. Maverick, Texas. Checking in, thank you for the coffees. God bless, right back. Turn it down a little bit. And I'm going to keep it pushing. This space was a banger tonight, right at the gate. Wanted to hit you with the 1-2. There you go. We've got 2 heavenly bodies entering the fray here within this month, in this window. Oh man, it's getting interesting. I'm telling you, this is like harbinger stuff, man. Especially around this election and everything. It's kind of ominous to me. But there you go. I'll update with more as I get it. Okay, so we're going to touch on a few of the lighter things, like as I always do here out the gate. Some of the economic stuff, and then we'll dive into some of the politics stuff. Got several juicy migrant border stories, all this stuff. It's stacking up. First off here, wanted to point out and just set the record straight for where we sit across the planet. India is now the most populated country on the planet. They surpassed China. They did so here just this year, I believe. And they're projected to stay that way and to explode. So India, from here on out, more people than anybody. China is going kind of in reverse. But by 2100, just so you know, India, China, Pakistan, then Nigeria, Congo. Those are all the top. Then the United States, in terms of the biggest countries. And in terms of tax havens, I wanted to point this out as well, because all these billionaires are always using these tax havens, and I wanted to show you, like, look, if you can pull it off, they're going here. This is what they're doing. I mean, it's no secret. It's just most people can't achieve even getting there to these places and being able to do this. It's going to take a little bit of money just to do it, because you're going to have to get a piece of property in one of these islands, or you have to have something property registered there so you can claim a business or a 501c3 or whatever, however loopholes they're jumping through. These tax havens are huge because all the politicians are using them, all the rich are using them. The everyday person doesn't even really realize they exist, but they're out there. The closest one to the United States, Cayman Islands, and then Panama. But Hong Kong, if you didn't know, look at it's an offshore tax haven. I'm not sure if anybody ever realized that, but when it comes to Hong Kong itself, it's one huge, massive, disconnected from the rest of the country tax haven. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, Hong Kong doing more than anyone. There, just shows you how big it is. And Switzerland coming in right behind it. Klaus Schwab and his goods, of course, making their citadel a tax haven. So just in case you were wondering how they get away with it, they set up shop in these tax haven places. And you're wondering where they're at, there they are. All right, let's turn the page real quick, and let's go down to Cuba. If real big war breaks out, Cuba's going to be critical in terms of a launch pad for like Russia, Chinese, anyone. I mean, it's right there. You know it. Just as Taiwan is critical to China, Cuba is to the United States. Always has been. But I'm not so sure people understand how bad it is down there. And I believe that with what they're doing with the weather wars, causing droughts here on this water world, I believe the United States could see something very similar to what's happening in Cuba right now. But nobody seems to care. But since we do, and we're conscious to all these things, Cuba, massive water crisis. Millions affected. The infrastructure completely collapsed. And the Biden administration didn't do anything with that infrastructure money. The infrastructure bill and all that stuff, they didn't do anything. They didn't fix bridges. They didn't do nothing. They just stuffed it in their pockets and kept on pushing. So eventually, we're going to be right here. That's all I can think about when I see this. It's turned into like the third world completely. Yeah, well, Trump can't save everything in 4 years if it gets in there for everybody who pins all their hopes on him. Change things, turn things around, but I think when it comes to water, you're going to have to take it upon yourself, guys. Collecting water, cleaning it, and even growing your own food. All of it. The whole nine. Matter of fact, let me show you something here. This is important. If you don't believe that we're getting scanned and we're getting played, you got to pay attention to what's happening over in Europe. You can't ignore it. Because if you was paying attention, you would have seen what was coming here. You would have seen all the migrants, the staged invasions going into all of Europe, into Italy, into France, into Germany, into the UK, into all these places by design. How they did not assimilate. They've caused pure hell in all these places. But that's what's just begun here in America. But also in part of the scheme that they've rolled out ahead of the United States, not just the migrant crisis ahead, but also the war on food and on the farmers. They rose up in Europe, if you missed it, and all the farmers were coming together from all these different countries and bringing all their equipment out. And they were even dumping manure on the politicians' front doorsteps and all this other stuff here all throughout the past 2 years. Coming together, a huge movement in Europe. Most Americans just turn a blind eye to that, just never even knew it existed. But something massive is happening. And what we've got on camera is some guys from across the pond there, and a shout outs to all my cats in the UK, a British farmer admitting how they are paying them to starve us out. It's insane. Get this pulled up here. All right. Turn the volume up. 2-minute clip. Play this real quick. This is a rather important one.
The next thing I'm going to tell you is unreal, because now we've been offered £2,500 to join a scheme for 3 years, and we don't supply you any food. Now listen to that.
We're going to go hungry.
I am going to plough a field. I'm going to put spring barley in. I'm going to get £440 off the government per acre. Okay? That when it comes to crop size, leave it rot in the ground. So I don't get no straw for the cattle. You don't get nothing for your bread, for everything we make. Okay? But I can also plant bee mix, which is for birds and bees. I can plant wild bird seed, which is for wild birds. I can also be paid to buy a ton of wild bird seed like anybody puts in their garden for the birds and drill it out on the ground once a week. I can get paid for that. Now my accountant says do it, because in doing that I've not got to buy fertiliser, which since the Ukraine war it's gone from £250 an acre to £1,000 a tonne. So in order to fertilise your food, I've got to buy fertiliser at £1,000 a tonne. It's come down a little bit and sometimes, and it goes up a little bit. But that's basically where we are. So I now got a crop that I don't have to spray. I don't have to send nobody out there with a tractor. I don't have to fertilise it. But I can just leave it in the ground and let it roll. And pick up my 440 pounds an acre and go all over it again. And the government is giving me £2,500 for the next 3 years to do that.
Wow.
And I'm not the only one.
Yeah, why?
Can you believe this? This is shocking. This is insane. This is busting the government right here in the UK with their scheme. And this is how things happen. This is how the truth comes out. I mean, you can't keep a lid on something like this. When you're going around all the farmers offering them this, someone like this guy is going to step up. And like he said, he's not the only one. They're being offered huge money to starve their people out for the next 3 years. Sometimes you got to pay attention to detail. He said at one time, for the next 3 years, they have approached them. This is crazy because I'm telling you, they're not the only ones. This is a global project. Okay, Jeff P. Oh, I don't know about, hey, anything's on the table. Thank you, brother. All the cards are on the table. I'm not going to say that's anything can happen. I don't know if that will before election. That's getting close, brother. But Daz in the house, across the pond in the UK. Fire, Crown, also over there. You guys, this is your farmers, directly saying this. There's a scheme. Your government is trying to pay the farmers to starve you out. This is nuts. I'm telling you, it's coming here if it hasn't already. I'm telling you. It's going to come down to states here in the United States. That's what it's going to come down to. It's not because it's how all the laws break down. It's all different in different states. Unlike the UK, I'm not sure how the UK inside of it's broken down. I just know it's a lot smaller of a country, a lot smaller territory, all in all, a lot less people. And things are going to be seen and felt a lot quicker. If you got millions of farmers in the United States versus thousands, this is, I pay attention, man. I watch these things. The guy said 3 years. So this puts us to 2027. This takes us out into 2027. They're trying to this is manufactured famine. Why would they do this? Why would they want this? Why would they want them to do this? There's only one reason. It's to starve people. To leave the food to rot in the ground. This is, again, man, so that you know, this is what's going down with the powers that be and what they're doing. All right. Wanted to get that out there. I'm sure I'll be updating on something similar here before too long. I wanted to point out the two of the juggernauts out there that are controlling this whole thing worldwide, Microsoft and BlackRock, joining forces, just great, right, on a $30 billion AI infrastructure fund. So you talk about the beast, and you've got some of these monopoly companies out here, coming together. It's even more of a monopoly, dark monopoly. I mean, these are two of the biggest conglomerates out there joining forces, so that's huge, man. And notice they're putting all these eggs in one basket, and it is the AI basket. It's really the true great replacement. Yeah. Much love, Carl. And I feel you on that. That's all anyone can do is prepare to the best of your ability. But I talk about the migrant thing, and we're going to dive into that here before it's all said and done. I got big stories on that. But AI, another, you can't sleep on it. Talk about replacement. It's one thing to bring human replacements in, but what happens when you're trying to replace the humans? All in all, I mean, the odds are stacked against us here at this point. They're bringing in the replacement in various forms. They're bringing it in terms of the migrants and now the AI robots. And if you don't think that the AI robot thing is like real deal, I've got one here in the lineup. Right here. We're just going to jump to it right here. We'll show you just how crazy this robot stuff can get. This is a standoff that just happened down in Texas. And a crime-fighting robot outsmarts the suspect, dodges a bullet, tear gases the gunman, and then pins him down on the ground. It's crazy. You'll see the dude come flying out the window, and that's because it dumped a canister in there. And then when he's on the ground, it rolls up on him. This is the robot aspect of this. He's got to come out and threw a blanket over him, trying to stop him. It got a canister in there, right? And here the guy comes out. Watch this. Gets him. Gets him. I mean, gets him. Like, run, gets up. I mean, just gets him. That dude is smashed right now under a couple 100-pound robot. And this got him pinned. He ain't going nowhere. The robot did all this. Basically, busted the window, threw in gas. The guy had no choice but to exit. And when he exited, like a fool, he laid down on the ground. Well, he was in agony. He was suffering, couldn't see, couldn't breathe. And the robot pounced on him. Just rolled up on him for real. Like, just rolled up on him. That is crazy. So just imagine, man. This is where it's going. I wanted to throw that out there because that's the future. The future is now. Cops ain't even have to put themselves in any danger. Let the robot do it all. Love Tooch. House. That one was kind of scary, but yet comical. You know, like. All right. Let me dive into some economy stuff here real quick and get this out of the way. China's economy is collapsing. I know nobody cares, but you should, because this is tied into everything, into our economy. Everything is tied in together globally. When the last Great Depression hit, it wasn't just an America thing. It was a global thing. The next big scheme and scam will be the same thing. You better believe it. And I said it many times. The last time they stole the farm, they took everything from your grandparents, great-grandparents, which should be yours right now. Everybody should be really ticked off about it, to be honest. You got robbed. Your whole future got robbed from a bunch of people we knew who did it. J.P. Morgan Chase and his goons, they caused the Great Depression. And they caused a domino effect around the planet. And what happened is this gave all the other governments that were in on it, knew what was happening, a chance to do the same thing, to hit their people, to steal the wealth from the people, which is exactly what happened en masse. So, fast forward to today. When you observe markets, when you observe money and money flow, and you observe where money sits and where money flows out of, into and out of, and what the people are doing with their money. Well, these bankers, J.P. Morgan and then Jamie Dimon, they've told us this whole time. They can look and they can see every little bit of everything that's going on. Well, credit cards are maxed out, and thank you, Meat Puppet. They're for the coffee. Everyone's in massive debt around the globe, but where's their money? Where's anybody got all their money at? In a savings, right? They're not stupid. They know where it's at. Now, unless you're smart and you've got your money stored up in gold, silver, or some kind of precious metal, something that can hold the value, and you bury it or you can hide it, long as it's in your account and they can see it or anything like that, it's susceptible to being took in a heartbeat. I say it all the time. Where's everybody's money at? It's in their 401ks. It's in their savings, man. So everybody's got all their money pent up. And it's pent up in stocks, and it's pent up in stocks right now that are at a high. Okay? Highs don't last long. Go back and do your research and your history. Record-setting highs don't last long. Okay? They're usually short-lived. And go back and look at the Bitcoin chart in graph. Every time it hits a high, and then it dumps out for years. Hits a high, dumps out for years. It runs up, hits a high, dumps out for years. Or goes stagnant for years. The same old song and dance. All right, so China has toppled over. That's kind of a warning sign, man. It's a big warning sign. They're not holding back anymore. They've been buying gold, and I'm going to show you more on that here in a minute, at breakneck speed, more than anyone else out there. But they're folding. They can't keep the charade up any longer. Their economy is collapsing. I'm telling you, down, this is going to lead into war globally. By default, I feel here. And it's just getting started. Japan is on our side. Okay? If Trump gets in there, he's going to put 100% tariffs on everything. Oh, not just China, but anyone that's over there banging one up. Anyone that's on the other side with the enemy, so to speak. This is going to be bad because they're going to turn around and they're going to stop anything from even coming here. Warning you, this is what's going to happen. It's going to cripple our country. Bad. All these things. You know, you don't even have to nuke cities. Economically, they can bring it to a standstill. It's already begun. The Houthis are down in ships and tankers out in the Red Sea. Can't even go through that way no more. You try to go down and around through the other way, you're going through the Red Sea. Unless you want to go around the Horn of Africa. That's your only other option. And then you have to go all the way down and around South America through the Drake Passage. It will make freight go through the roof. And if the military locks down any of them zones, it's over. We already know Russia's got the Arctic on lock. They've got like 30-some icebreakers to her like 3. It's pathetic. Anyhow, China's economy is collapsing. Okay? Let's look at a few other indicators here. Mercedes-Benz sliding. And why? The China slowdown. It becomes a nightmare for the profits. It's just begun. Like this, you might say day one. Let's just say it's just beginning. Okay? Their economy is collapsing. No one wants to talk about it. But yet it's already affecting huge names here. So get to know it. Get used to it here tonight. Because it's not going to go away. It's going to accelerate. And I'm telling you, and all the economies are going to go down. And ours is going to go down timed on this freaking election, unfortunately. Because if they give us Kamala, on that day, our economy is smoked. It's smoke that day. It would tank. So many people would sell instantly. I've already said it. I'll get into more in a minute. But I want to show you these signs, these ominous signs, that something global economically is happening. It's turning over. It's actually happening. And China has done, it's on. The dominoes done dropped. So who's next is the big question. Who will be next? We are at a high. The S&P and the Dow hit record highs. Record highs. We are at the peak. Record. I've been telling you this for weeks. Okay? It's a handful of weeks. I've been telling you. We've been coming up on this peak, and I've been telling you, man, this is where you want to exit. Especially if you're in a 401k. Your 401k is tied to the stock market. The moment the stock market dumps out, that is the rich guys taking profits, and they're going to leave all of you holding the bag, an empty bag. That's what's about to happen. It's too easy. And why would you not? Why would you think they would leave all that money on the table? It's a grand heist. It takes all the rest of anything. How are you going to go to war without any money? How are you going to even retire or survive without any money when they steal it from you? This is it. You will not be able to get it out if you're not already making moves and being proactive right now. You will not be able to get it out the day that this all goes into motion full scale. You will not. Everything will be frozen, locked up, and it's going to begin hell. We could really enter a hell window. I'm not kidding you. Here in the coming month, I got this weird feeling, man. I can just feel this energy. And with all these other things and heavenly signs popping up, and like, there's something, or if not a series of events that are already underway. This throwing all the Trump crap, it's already begun. Even though a lot of it, there's manufactured aspects. Oh, they didn't like that. OBS disconnected for the first time in a couple streams. You want to know something? The second I say bird, the second I say bird flu, it disconnects. I'm going to give it a second here to reconnect, and I'm going to go through my notifications. I want to give a shout out to Mick, Mrs. King. She sent me this image. It's California. Her husband works at the dairy farm. And this is from today. It's from today. IB, much love. It should be back. Everything should be good. When OBS does it, this glitches for a second. And literally, it's not even a second. It goes out and then right back in. And it seems to be like, it's almost like they're using it to check me. It's like, they're like, oh, he says something like, check, click it. Click it. Well, the key word here was bird flu. And this picture shows this is at a dairy farm. In California, it says no visitors due to the bird flu. Do you see that? Do you see that? So, thank you, Mick, for sure, you and your husband, for relaying this information. This is the stuff we need to be keeping track of. It's a scam. Let me remind you of something. Something that's very scary. Just a month ago, I played a clip of one of the main ladies here in the United States that's connected to the FDA and all that stuff. And what did she say? What did she say? She says the bird flu is different than COVID or anything else. We're way more ready for this. It's different. It also has a kill rate that's way different. Okay? Her exact words were, we already have jabs to give to the farmers. When this happens, we're going to go straight to the farmers and give them this. It's exactly what she said in the video clip. Listen to what that guy just said. They were coming to him, paying him big bucks, him and a bunch of other farmers in the UK, to kill their crops. Okay? They're getting ready. Imagine they launched the bird flu. Oh my gosh. That lady done told us what's about to happen. They're going to force every single farmer to take their concoction or not be able to sell. They will not be able to sell their cattle, their chickens, their eggs, their milk, nothing. You won't be able to buy or sell. Does this start to sound familiar? All-Star, thank you. Without it, they will not be able to sell their product. They'll have to slaughter all of it, just as they've been doing. This is crazy. FDA or somebody comes knocking on your door. Oh yeah, we were just out here testing your chickens. You're like, what? I didn't give you permission. Who are you? They're gonna be called by the FDA. And it's too late. They got bird flu, and you're gonna have to kill them all. We're gonna give you 48 hours, kill them. We'll be back in a couple days. Thank you, bye. Throw some papers at you, walk off. That's how they're doing it. It's not a gimmick. That is what they are doing. Okay? This is scary. So I feel for all these people. When you see signs like this go up, no visitors due to bird flu, and it's at a big facility, oh boy. I'm telling you, tomorrow morning, it could begin. Joe, Susie Q, much love. Live one. Tacos. Did they slide in? Did they slide in? Just saying, man. Pops up out there. Cali. Already got farms throwing signs up. So, keep it pushing. Keep it pushing. Gold, oil, crypto, all soaring today. Someone coming through with the coffee. Thank you. I'm going to go back and I'm going to read that. Something about the song, and I'll try to line it up for the end of the night. I have to watch copyright, though, believe it or not, on my own music. It's pathetic how crazy the algorithm is. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Quantum. Good to see you. Much love. Good to see everybody tonight. I hope everyone's doing good. We've got a lot to cover. Just getting into ain't even cracked into the really heavy stuff. But gold hits a record high. And I gotta give all my guys and gals out there, all my people that listen and took the advice, heeded the sign to get involved with gold and silver, especially gold at this point, years ago. Especially when I, made the decision, thank you, Annie, to call crypto for what it was, put out my video. It was 2017. It's been that long. Damn, time's flying, man. It's been 7 years, man. 7 years. That is crazy. That's how long I've been saying to get into gold and the silver and to be done with the cryptos and everything else. So if you would have took my advice, boy, we're at record highs now. You play the crypto game all you want, but how it shakes out in the end, if at this very moment, if you fast forward to right now, anything you would have ever done in crypto would have been a taxable event. Even if you would have sent it to me tonight. That's why I don't accept it. It would have been a taxable event that most people don't realize. And it would have come out and got you later. And I ain't trying to even allow the people around me to fall in traps. Do you understand? But that's how it works. Gold, silver on the other hand, most states, even mine now, have done away with taxes on the gold and silver. So all that gold and silver you were holding the whole time, you could sit there and sell it at the high right now if you wanted, or a piece of it, and it'd be tax-free, baby. You do not get gimmies you do not get moves like that, but like once in a lifers, dude. So I'm just telling you, man, it's congratulations to everyone that listened, everyone that made a good move. It's not over. This is if you thought that you missed the Bitcoin bandwagon and all this other stuff, get on the gold. Tom Joe, coffee. Much love. Thank you. Gold's going to hit when our dollar and when our whole economy collapses, which can happen at any time. And you know this. I foresee gold at 20,000 plus. Other guys put it well above that, in the 30 plus range, by 2030, which is 5, 6 short years from now. Huge events globally, but I see it getting there. It's already doing its thing, man. Look at it, man. It ran up today, broke 26. Let it break 3,000, and it's like off to the races. It's just it's in discovery mode. Long as the biggest bankers and the biggest big dogs on the planet are buying something that's finite, it can't be reproduced like gold, precious metals. It's going to keep climbing. You're going to need it for all your electronics. You're going to need it for satellites. You're going to need it for all these AI freaking robots they're trying to replace us with. You're going to need it for all this stuff. Let's just be real. Technology is going to gobble up a lot of these precious metals and stuff like that. So, let's keep it going. Look who steps up and talks about Bitcoin. See, these are moments where I take a step back and I nudge one of my buddies like, look, dude, look what they're doing. Look. This is kind of a peeking behind the curtain and seeing the wizard behind it. The real Wizard of Oz, seeing him behind the curtain like BlackRock releases a new pro-crypto report. And they're all in on Bitcoin and all this stuff. It's like, hold on, man. There you go. If that was China or Russia that controlled Bitcoin or anything like that, they would never do this. First off, the United States would never let it in here this way. They would never let you invest in it in your 401k. They'd never have shows on it. No one would be able to even trade it or do anything if they didn't control it. And we already know that Bitcoin was built on a hash that was created by the NSA. It's game over. We already know all this. So here's another gimme. I mean, BlackRock is telling you, yeah, we're going all in on this. Like, we believe in it and all this. It's like garbage. If you're awake and hip to this game, they're just adding more credence to the fact that our government is Satoshi. And it's just that simple. Just that simple. Come on. Take a step back. Look at the big picture here, man. So, we were calling this thing Biden bucks, right? CBDCs. Trump's trying to play the card. He's against them. He's going to stop. He ain't going to allow them. But the perfect crisis, the perfect situation, this can be rolled out under whatever name. They're trying to call it Kamala bucks. But that would mean Kamala was going to be our next president. And a crisis would begin. And, she would have to be the next president. There's always the option here that she could become president if something happens to Biden in the next however many weeks. It's been talked about quite a lot here recently because it would project her. She would be president. They could just make her president right now. Don't you know? Don't you know? They could. They could just install her right now for like 30 days and just to give her some puff some pop. Like, oh, she is the president now, you know? So it's the current president now trying to play honcho against this former criminal Trump. Is how they keep pushing it, obviously. Boy, oh boy, if they give us Kamala, it's over. You will watch the market dump quicker than crap. You will watch chaos ensue. It will go global. And if it's that bad right out the gate, if everything dumps out right at the gate, oh my, how are you going to get through 4 years? There's no way. Maybe that's what they're serving us. I don't know. I'm hoping that it's not that. Because I think that at least with Trump, if he gets in there, the economy at least sees a parabolic, a spike. You know, just a spike in quite a few things. It could be short-lived. It could be very short-lived, but I think that the initial response obviously would be a positive one in the markets if Trump gets in. Just my assessment. If Kamala gets in, it's game over. Okay? Let's look at a couple things here. CEOs are completely scaling back their plans. And I saw a major CEO dude was stepping into the shadows tonight. I forget which company it was. If you guys heard about it or you guys know about it, say something in chat. I forget what it was for. But then I saw another one. It was Nike's. Nike's was the other one. I don't know. So there was two. I was like, hold on, man. I'm seeing a lot of CEO stuff here. And what are they doing? They're firing, not hiring, and projecting weak sales because of a cooling economy. Because the whole economy, again, coming down. This is all the dudes. Here, look over in the left hand. Not what's going on the right. They got you looking at a charging economy, but at the same time, all the richest dudes are selling off the tip. And they are leaving their positions and stepping into the shadows. That is what is happening right now. That is exactly what is happening. So keep on listening to roaring stock market highs. Dude, those days don't last long. Okay? I'm warning you. It's ride it out from here. It's going to do something come election day. The day they announce the results of this election, the market's going to make a huge move. Up or down. Up or down. Well, it did last time. I've sat here and watched this repeat over and over. I've been doing this so long. Through so many presidential cycles. It's, I'm wanting to see something new here. I fear they're going to give us Kamala because in the way that I see it, nothing's changed. You haven't overthrown any minions. No one's going to jail or sitting in prison for any of this corruption. Not even trying. Like, no one's on trial. Like, George Soros and all the goons are running around committing treason everywhere. Ain't nothing close to happening, except for the economy maybe crashing. All right? Let me keep it going here. Let me keep it pushing. What's this one say? Hedge fund billionaire has a warning. He says, if Kamala wins, sell stocks, buy gold. I mean, it's just short, blunt, to the point. I told you as much before we even got to this article, this story. I've told you all this. I told you, you better not be in your 401k. And since 2017, I've been heavy on the gold. So, what do you think is going to happen when a hedge fund billionaire, one of the biggest guys out there, John Paulson, is telling everyone that is listening and takes his advice to dump their stock if Kamala wins? Oh, dude, he's doing it right here. This stuff like this, comments like this, can get guys like this in trouble by the SEC and others that come back and get them. I've seen Elon get in trouble for pumping cryptos by little comments in the past and all this other stuff, but he's flat out saying it. Maybe he's in a position to give all that financial advice to everybody. Dude, when someone of this stature is telling everyone, dude, if she gets it, dump. Dude, this is going to be a tsunami. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. No other way around it. If they give us Kamala. Again, if some people are just now tuning in, they're like, well, why? What's going to make it so bad? Well, just her 2 income tax things alone will decimate everything. One is the capital gains, raising the percentage of it to astronomical, which will crush everybody. And the other one is unrealized gains, which means when you've invested in something and you ain't even cashed it out, they're trying to tell you how much it's worth per year, and then they want to tax it and get a piece of it every year. It's nuts. It's like you buying a fridge and then paying taxes when you buy your fridge, but then they want to come and tax you every year on your fridge. And yes, they got plans to do that too. All your stuff, all your appliances, everything. Anything that people are going to let them get away with. It's crazy. Guys, this ain't looking good. I will say this, if Trump gets in there, I think it buys you a small window of time. Do not get comfortable. Not back, take a vacation. No. God just gave you just a small window of time longer to get prepared before it all comes down. It's coming down regardless, okay? Kamala is accelerated. They're ready to play ball. Trump is, I think, a stalled out version of it, personally. Because I think, how can you not have a positive response if he gets in there with all the people in the markets and everything? I see it being maybe the last hurrah with the market when he gets in there. If that's the case, that's what you're talking about right there. Last hurrah, right there. And then this slowly come down. It may not dump as hard. It definitely will not dump as hard. But I've said this the whole time. I think Trump gets in and they dump the market on him. I think they crash it on him. They pull it. Building 7 him. Why? Why would they not? They, for all intents and purposes, here on the world stage, they hate him. They are the one they hate, right? They're dogging him left and right. You know it. Even though it is all left-right paradigm. But that's how they're doing it. They hate him. They would love to dump it all on him and say it was his fault. But he's done warned. He's done stated. He is inheriting a defunct economy. He's inheriting a bunch of downside. It's true. So he already knows this. I still want to know if anyone finds out what the bloodline of Kamala tracks back to. Because I don't think her mother or father tracked back to the bloodline that connects her to all the presidents. Trump does. We know this already. So that alone, if I see proof that she's in the bloodline, then I say, okay, she's next. And we're smoked. But I ain't seen that yet. So, Trump, we know for sure. So, I don't know. We'll see here. I'm going to keep it pushing here, Pat, at 10:10. Much love to everybody out there. You want to know who's buying all the gold? Well, let me show you. Let me show you who's buying it compared to what they got. You can see right here. And China leads the way. China. Is buying more than anyone on the planet. Followed by India. And India, man, they got just a tiny little bit from their own country. But Australia, lucky. They got a lot of gold there. Russia got a lot of gold. Canada even got a lot of gold. They're plus. The United States is in the minus, in the negative. We've got some, but in terms of what we're taking in, our consumption versus our domestic supply, that's what you're looking at right there. Gold's key. It is the real money. All right. Real quick, an update on this Cybertruck ordeal with Elon Musk. And this should be a warning to anyone out there that wants to go out and buy one of these things. A Chechen warlord that you see right here, all this money and all this stuff, trying to show off. He gets a Cybertruck, and he attaches to it a Gatling gun on the back of it to basically go mow people down on the war front using the Cybertruck. Where Elon Musk and all them seen this, seen everything, and they shut it down. I repeat, Elon seen something he did not like with this truck, and he shut it down. He can do this to any one of his vehicles anywhere. Are you driving a Tesla? Are you in anything Elon Musk has made? Because he's showing us right here. Flip of a switch, he's got you. And he just checkmated this dude. And he's pissed. Dude's pissed. But, dude, Elon is like, you gotta watch him, man. I mean, he comes up with all these crafty ways to do stuff. Here you go. He's just like, oh, I don't like that. He basically told him, take the gun off. Do not use it in the war zone, whatever, for murdering people. Dude did not listen. And he shut it down. Remember, Brazil told him, stop X, and he beamed it down from space. And they couldn't stop him. He stopped it himself. He could still be doing it in mass. That's how powerful it is. But he said, no, let's take it to the ground. And let's show them that we can take them out on the ground like jiu-jitsu or something. Like, seriously. And he did. He went in and changed their IP address to Cloudflare. And the whole damn country runs off Cloudflare. So if they ban Cloudflare, they shut down all their stuff. He checkmated them on the ground. Like, got them, made them tap. It's nuts. And then backed out again. He could drop bombs from the air at any time. Anytime, and they cannot stop him. You can beam in anywhere on this planet with Starlink, and they cannot stop it. It's crazy. And the Chinese are picking up on this big time. They're trying to catch up. They're trying to send all these constellation satellites up into space. They're trying to like they always do, trying to mimic and copy anything else out there that they see. And they're full on trying to mimic Elon Musk and do their own thing, their own system. So now, imagine all of Elon's plus China's trying to mimic it. There's going to be a ton of these things out there. Yeah. All right, man. Dang. I've got quite a bit to crack into still here. Let's get the update on Diddy. Diddy's done. As you can see in the title, he sure is. And this is it's crazy. So he's on suicide watch here. Let me see what this is. Oh, it's just that. He's on suicide watch while awaiting trial. This is the same things we were told before Epstein got assaulted in there. IB rules for Mike 1. Hey, he's coming through tonight, brother. Much love. It's one big club, okay? And, some of the things that I seen tonight, I unfortunately can't share with you. Because it's Justin Bieber. And it's Justin Bieber's music. But we could talk about it. You can go and you can look them up. It's two songs in particular I want to point out. Because I'm not a huge Bieber fan. I don't listen. But he has caught my attention in recent years. Whenever he got inoculated and half his face started to fall off and wasn't working and all the other crap, I seen he was waking up. He was hip to the whole game and that he had been got. I seen it in him. I seen it. I know. I seen his video. I seen the comments. I seen it. He knew. And when I started hearing these songs too, now that I know everything about Diddy and Bieber, he was screaming to the whole world for help. Justin Bieber was. In the song Lonely, that's one. It was released like 3 months ago or something like that. Or 3 years ago. But you can hear it in it. You can hear it in it. All this, you can hear it. But then, there's another one about he lost something at a Diddy party. And I looked it up earlier, and I saw all kinds of people doing videos talking about this. Like, listen to the song, and listen to what he's saying. And it was basically him saying that he had to sign a document that, and we already know this is true. Diddy makes all these people sign a document at his freak-off parties so they cannot come back and get him. And this is why he thought that he could get away with all this. He was taught this by rich, sick men that handled him and taught him a certain way. And he thought since they're powerful and get away with it, he become rich and what he conceived to be powerful, that he was going to get away with it. But he took his abuse too far and all this stuff. As you've seen in the Cassie clips and all this other stuff. And not only that, they were drugging people and raping them. It wasn't like they were just having orgies. They were drugging them with these designer drugs. And when these people were waking up, they had no clue what was going on, what happened to them. And there's so many people tied into this. This goes so deep. This is not like Epstein. There's so many people already out in the open connected to him. And man, oh man, so many people have opened their mouth and made themselves guilty of being at these parties. They're going to get subpoenaed because of video footage that they put out. Ashton Kutcher, for example, that I was shown talking about. He's sitting there saying, oh, I can't talk about that one. I can't talk about that one. And he says, I got so many going through my head. And it's like, dude, you're done. Yeah. As soon as you see that, you know that Ashton Kutcher's been at these freak-offs time and time again. He admitted it. The rapper The Game, the same thing. Ran with Diddy for years at all these places. He's on video saying it. DJ Vlad, the Fed, catching him up on it. He did. Caught him up on it. Caught him admitting it. Not seeing what he was saying was wrong. Because he didn't see and didn't realize, no, this was coming. This is all coming down on Diddy. And it did because Diddy was a ringleader. Diddy is connected to everything. It's not just the music industry. It's all of Hollywood. He was brought up and handled by Clive Davis, Quincy Jones, Jimmy Iovine's and the sort. All these types, man. That taught him Russell Simmons. That were doing a bunch of, and it's out there. It's out there. You can get this from Gene Deal. And all these other videos and these interviews out there. That's where I'm getting this. I'm getting this, all my information from these people that are coming forward that are saying all these things like, look, this is what was happening at these places. and that, you know, the cops just raided his place and found 1,000 bottles of lube. All right, that's how crazy these places were. And this sick son of a gun had his own son in there participating in these demonic things. Now, this goes deeper than just sexual parties. All Epstein you ever heard of was the same thing. I warned you and I warned you and I warned you that there are sacrifices and murders tied into this, deep with this. Okay? He's even got a book out called The Adrenochrome Witch. Wake up. He rubs it in your face. That's how brazen this man was about the whole thing. You can't put a book out like that and not be sacrificing to get it and being a part of it all. There's no way. There's no way. Will that ever be mentioned? Will a word of the adrenochrome be mentioned out of all this ever? Never was an Epstein. But with Epstein and the mystery client list, this list isn't wide open. And it's all these famous people. They're like all getting their card pulled. It's like Satan's coming along and said, guess what? Everybody that was caught up in this ring, appoint a card. And it's how it's going to work. You're going to make a fresh sacrifice. Or you're going to go down with this shit. So some of these demons don't care. They'll serve up a fresh sacrifice. Or you know, whatever. It's usually the sacrifice that's wanted, not the money. The sacrifice. You see, you got to know this is real occult stuff. Dark occult magic, man. P. Diddy gets paid about the same way as Suge Knight. By the Baphomet. And they were both trained the same way. And both set up shop on both coasts to do the same thing. And they both operated the same way. And in the past, I've told you and I've shown you Suge Knight flipped out. One time when the camera went missing, they had everybody on it. They had one of these orgy parties because they were filming it. They were doing the same thing. These guys were taught this. They were taught this, to do this and do these things, to blackmail and to hold this on other people. So, dude, they've got 15 years. 15 years of video footage and stuff on him. And Kim Porter, that had kids with him, said before she died, because she's dead. She's dead. Imagine that. She said, this man right here had sexual relations with a young Justin Bieber and filmed it and sold it for high dollar in the millions to the A-list in the club in Hollywood. It didn't matter. It wouldn't get out because it's in the club. Anyone wants to run their mouth or anything, they end up dead. Just like him. Just like Black Rob. That was underneath of P. Diddy. Whoa. You know, old song used to go, whoa. When you see me in the club, like, whoa. Like that was Black Rob. Ended up getting killed. And who ended up getting all the proceeds after he died? Because that's the name of the game. When these guys die, when artists die, the label sits back and makes all the money. New flavor in the air, yeah. New flavor in the air. That was Craig Mack. They got him the same way. Killed him. He sat back. Same thing. Biggie Smalls. Notorious B.I.G. Same thing. This man is behind the deaths and the murders of Tupac Shakur, Biggie Smalls, putting what's his name in jail that sounded like Biggie, I forget his name, taking a gun charge for him, and the guys I just mentioned, and many more. Wolf, his own guys around him that are dead. Some of the top guys, Gene Gene Deal exposes all this on him and has. All these people are dead because of him. It's crazy because Suge Knight's the same way on the West Coast. Poochie, or Buntry, and all them that were around Suge Knight, all the main guys are dead. All of them. And then, of course, Tupac. What did Jimmy Iovine say to Suge Knight right after Tupac died? Oh, man. He was brilliant. He was a great mind. Hell of an album, we'll miss that guy. He said, you hit jackpot. Nothing sells like a dead man. And they knew it. They knew it. To me, they murdered many of these guys. Tentacion, Triple X Tentacion. Made all the money off of everything afterwards. Another one that was taken out was Juice WRLD. Before anyone even really knew who he was, before he blew up and became this famous. He became famous, like hugely famous. Dead. Just like Tupac. Tupac was famous, world known and all that, but he blew up. He died. Machiavelli dropped. That's when he died. All Eyes on Me, it just came out. I mean, that was the introduction to him. And like, man, these guys got murdered so young, 25. They've been dead now longer than they were even alive. Karma is coming back to get P. Diddy, I'm telling you. It don't stop here. It won't stop here. A ton of people are going to go down with this. Maybe they pin the murders on. They've been trying to put them. Greg Kading and all of them have been trying to put even Tupac's murder on him. That he wrote $1 million check and this and that. Why would that whole story have even been concocted? They concocted it to pin it on P. Diddy. Don't you know that before the feds ever have a single man go down, that they were an assassin and took out Tupac or Biggie, if they were a part of it? Because they were filming it the whole night. They filmed every bit of it. You'll never see it. We'll never see it. The feds were there. They were behind. They were on the rooftops. They have all the camera footage from every light, from every angle, especially in Vegas at the time. Had more cameras than any place on the planet. With Tupac. Nothing. No footage nowhere. What's Tupac's own dad say? What's his own words? That the feds were trailing my son and that they were following him that night. Where were they at? How come they didn't drive up, pull up? How come they didn't chase the shooter? Where's the footage that they had? How come they just watched? And they did. They had, by all accounts, from what I see, Reggie Wright Jr. set up and stage the hit on Tupac Shakur. And the man's supposed to be in prison right now. He's a former cop. He got busted years ago. But if you go over to YouTube, he's got a big YouTube channel called Bomb Burst, where he's doing nothing but putting out YouTube videos, pushing a narrative. And I'm like, hold on. I thought you were supposed to be in jail. Why are you not in prison? The moment you're out of prison, all of a sudden you show up on YouTube pushing stories. It seems the main man that orchestrated the whole thing, him and the feds, him and the law enforcement, he is pushing a narrative, and it's with Greg Kading. He says, whatever Greg Kading says, yeah, that's what it is. Really. Greg Kading is a fed concocting stories, and we know this. Covering up the whole thing. Trying to muddy the waters. He's a fed. He's never going to tell you one of his guys or their people set up the murders of both these people. He's never going to do that. His job is to make sure that you never find that out. So what do? They give you Reggie Wright Jr. to sit there and run his mouth and push a narrative constantly on YouTube with some little fat dude behind the camera asking him questions. That's what it is. Snoop warned his whole crew not to go to Vegas. Why? Because he knew Tupac was going to get murdered. What was his last words to Tupac? And they were fighting. You going to Vegas, cuz? We have multiple rappers on video in interviews slipping up and saying, oh, Snoop called me that night. He told us we ain't going. He said, y'all ain't going to Vegas. And we was like, why? Daz, Corrupt, all them, like, why? Why are we not going? Like, what are you talking about? Like, we got a show we're doing. We got performing at 662. Like, what do you mean? Well, Nate Dogg went ahead and went. He said, F you. He went ahead and went. And everyone was like, all right, what is up with this? Well, night Tupac got shot, one of the main bodyguards that's dead now, not Frank Alexander, but Kevin Moore. He was Tupac's other bodyguard. He is on film stating that they overheard on Reggie Wright Jr.'s two-way walkie-talkie seconds after the shooting took place on Tupac Shakur. They heard the words, got him. Got him. I'm telling you, these boys did it. It's all cover up out here to cover their tail. You know, the same person that blew JFK's head off, killed Tupac, killed Biggie, killed John Lennon, killed them all. Anyone that wants to rise against the beast, they eliminate them. Or if there's a profit on the table, and it's a nice sacrifice. See, Tupac and Biggie unfortunately played right into a East Coast, West Coast thing that the feds pushed. The feds pushed. Because come to find out of Tupac's dad's mouth and his godfather's mouth, in videos here recently from this past year, they both state that Tupac and Biggie were on good terms right before his death, and they actually had a plan to reroute the industry because they were ripping everybody off. And Tupac just fired David Kenner the week before, just fired Reggie Wright Jr. from being in security the week before. And they made Tupac go to this event for some crap for his probation. David Kenner did. Yeah. All these dudes were in on this and covering this up. Jimmy Iovine, all of them. They're all part of the club. So they conspired and were a part of this massive East Coast, West Coast thing. And it didn't work unless you finished it with Biggie. So how did Biggie die? Biggie is sitting there and gets murdered at a light. And who's the individual that peels off in panic here? Suspect is everything. Just like Suge driving and Tupac getting killed. Diddy's driving and Biggie gets killed. They're almost mirror image hits. Okay? To this day, neither one's assassin has been figured out. How's that, dude? It only happens one way. When it's the man, dude. When it's the hand. They'll let you chew on a Lee Harvey Oswald bone. As long as you didn't see the other 5 snipers, you never talk about them. This is a sick game. Our people got sacrificed out here, and they continue to get it. And this guy he is a witch. He's a dark, evil witch. He's even in he's in one of his music videos, jumping from the towers, mocking the people that died on 9/11. Do you know that? Sick piece of work. I swear to you, flashbacks of that day in my life, watching them people jump on 9/11 and having to hit the ground, will never leave me. It's what makes me, and it's the created a fire in me to this day to do what I do. And he had the nerve to mock it in a video. As satanic as it gets. It's this old boy here got out of line. I'm telling you, I hope they hang it all on him. But they stick every bit of it to him. It ain't going to matter if he ends up dead in prison, to be honest with you. Ain't going to matter if he ends up. There's too many people are going to come forward. They already are. It's all about to come out. It's all about to come out. This isn't like Epstein, man. This isn't a hit and keep everybody hitting. Like, everybody's been exposed, and half the people expose themselves. Like LeBron James going on video, sitting there bragging, like, ain't no party like a P. Diddy party. And getting P. Diddy laughing and all this. Yeah. While LeBron's in a dress. Like, get out of here, dude. Like, you're all satanic as it gets, and you're all going down. Let me tell you something, though. A young MK Ultra, Justin Bieber, Usher was the same way. Came up under P. Diddy in the same house, staying the night with him. I mean, this dude was raping them. Making it a normal thing. Because that's exactly what the big boys did to him. And I'm telling you, man, it's downright. It's downright heartbreaking to see what happened to Justin Bieber and everything. To know a young boy didn't ask for none of this. In that song, he says he was in it for the Ferrari. Not to sell us, so he lost way more than his soul, he said. And he had to sign a piece of paper. And this dude will never say sorry. Diddy will never say sorry. They're making people sign, well, it's over now, but they were making people sign these forms, thinking that would save him in a court. I don't know. He's messed up bad. He pissed off the wrong people because the whole thing's coming down. Like, at least once a week, we're probably going to have some big dumps and big information on this, on Diddy. You know, and who knows? I don't know. If people want to sweep up, his life could really be in danger big time. Because if they just off him and say he's dead, and then sweep it under the rug, like, it's not a spectacle no more if he's dead. He's gone. Do you see? It won't carry on. As long as he's alive, they can pull him out, put him in a courtroom, and new people can come in and testify, new people can come in. He could open his mouth about anyone along the lines. He could testify about anyone. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Dead men tell no tales. All right. We still got quite a few things to get out here. We got quite a few big stories here still. One right here out of Kentucky. A Kentucky sheriff shoots a judge in his chambers. Okay? This is crazy. You have to think, instantly, like, what is going on here? Now, I know people, and I much love, you know who you are. Let's keep names silent on this one. I know people that know these people and the people around them because they live in this area. And on the back end of this, what I'm hearing is, on a real tip, is that these two guys, and I'm guessing their wives, were having swinger relations. Okay? This is how it was told to me. And that this sheriff, Steins, has a 17-year-old daughter. And they caught the judge and his wife with the 17-year-old daughter over there experimenting. He went and killed him. This is the word that I'm getting. Okay? We'll see when it leaks out, if it ever comes out. This is coming from people that are like right there, that are in the town, that know these people, that know that already knows things about them. This is what's being said. Nothing I'm making up. But that's pretty crazy. And they're foolish if that's the case. Whatever it was. What was so severe that would cause a sheriff to kill a judge? You have to ask yourself that. What would be so severe? You can get into arguments about anything and everything, right? You get over it. What would be so severe that makes you see red and livid that someone's crossed the line when they find out that you've done something with their kid? It all makes 100% sense. And man, like, what you get when you out there doing devil things. Unfortunately, it just it's evil, man. All right, gonna keep it pushing here. I've got we have proof now of just how corrupt some of these agents are that are out here sneaking around at these events. These CIA agents, they oftentimes try to cover them up, hide them. But just one, right here, just an example of one, that gets away with murder, so to speak. Drugging, raping, sexually assaulting all kinds of women. Well, what this dude's done, 30 years in federal prison. But this is what this guy was doing. 14 years this went on. CIA agent slipping in. If he seen someone in a bar or something, he was slipping in drugs. He was having his way, was doing whatever. And I guess he was taking pictures the whole time. And in the end, those same pictures got him busted. So, it shows you, man, some of these guys think they're above the law. They can go on these tears for 10, 15 years doing stuff like this. It's just one agent. He's molesting these people that were unconscious. So he drug them. Very similar to same exact crap that P. Diddy and them were doing. They were drugging people. There's this one guy with the P. Diddy thing that woke up, and P. Diddy looked at him and said, "I just did this to you." He was sitting there doing something to somebody else sexually that was out of it. And the dude woke up next to him and looked, and Diddy looked at him and said, "I just did this to you." And he's one of the dudes suing him. He's one of the dudes suing him, one of the main people suing him right now. So drugging these people and doing this, a lot of these demons were doing this, man. It's pathetic. All right, let's jump into politics here real quick. Today, Secret Service arrested an individual that scaled the White House fence. The suspect, a female. Not a lot known about her, but they transported her to the hospital after this. Still don't know what happened. The House passes a bill to enhance Secret Service protection for presidential candidates after 2 assassination attempts against Trump. Or whatever you want to call them. So, will it be too late? When are they going to get this extra service and all this other stuff, man? All this stuff has been a sham. And look at this, DeSantis trying to run his own investigation to the one that took place in Florida. He's saying that the feds, they're being uncooperative and they want information. They're like, will you share some of your data with us? And they're not wanting to do it. Hear me play a clip.
Governor, I want to turn to another topic because we were relieved to hear that you are doing your own independent investigation in Florida concerning the second assassination attempt on President Trump. My question to you tonight is, are the feds being cooperative with your investigation? Are you concerned that you're not getting the information you need?
The answer is no, they're not being cooperative. Yes, I am concerned. I mean, for example, we were rebuffed, our investigators were rebuffed just going to the fence line outside of Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach. And so I think they've taken the position, they don't want the state of Florida to be involved in this. But here's the thing. There were multiple violations of Florida law across multiple jurisdictions. We think at least 3 judicial circuits. This guy, Ryan Routh, committed potential violations of Florida law. So we have a duty to investigate this. We have a duty to bring the appropriate charges. And we also have a duty to inform the public about how this happened. So I don't anticipate they're being cooperative. I think that they've just taken that position.
Okay, and that's very interesting, right? Because the guy was charged with 2 charges. But he was not charged with trying to kill the president. He was not charged with shooting at him. Nothing. He got charged with being in possession of a weapon by a felon and in possession of an AK that had a milled-off serial number. Didn't get charged with attempted murder on a president, or anything like that, which is so weird. So that's what DeSantis is saying. Like, the feds don't want to give us no information. Well, sounds sketch to me. Because Florida has a duty to do their own investigation. He's right. 100%. This is where the feds in the state start to butt heads. A prime example of how that can happen. And if the feds want to be like this, then what are you going to do? It's your state. Like, you're going to let them continue to come in and override crime scenes and kick your guys out? They may stop that. They may put a law on the books like my state did, that if you go into Florida and you try to mess with anyone or do anything, you're on your own. You can't call for National Guard. You can't call for backup for a sheriff. You can't call for backup for the local police department if they're not allowed. That's how it is in my state. And I love it. Evens the playing field. It makes you think twice before you step into that turf. Because you can't call for any backup. It's got to be all your Fed boys. No one in the state's allowed to help them. Something's happening. This country is getting torn apart and divided, and I'm telling you, as soon as one major state secedes or breaks away, this place will break in half. By design, but it's going to do it. And you're either going to go with the commies or you're going to go with the free side. And it's just how it's going to go. And it's going to be hard to get things. It's going to be hard to get things. And this is going to suck. I'm telling you right now, guys. It's going to suck. I'd stock up on all the things right now if you got the money, man, that you may not even be thinking about. Like anything and everything. Like if you ain't got enough water filters for water filtration, you better be getting some more. Stacking them up. Canning goods. I just be doing it all right now. Look at Getz. Getz here says the DHS knows of 5 assassination teams targeting Trump. Boy, oh boy. It's like 1 assassination attempt, 2 assassinations, 3 assassinations. They tried for a 3rd, right? Which was false. Was no explosives in the vehicle. But all of a sudden gets us like, no, we know 5 teams that want to take him out. And he just names different countries like Russia or Iran, Ukraine, Pakistan. And of course, he names Iran first. I'm telling you what, they are dropping the seeds, the breadcrumbs for Iran. They're doing it bigger than they've ever done it before, which is kind of scary again. They're doing it. I keep pointing this out in my streams, all these little innuendos pointing to Iran. They don't need to be doing this, but you don't need to be saying this, but yet Getz is stepping up saying this. We know there's assassination teams coming out of Iran, Ukraine, and Pakistan. It's like, oh, really? He threw Pakistan in there, so you better watch it. In terms of them going with China and everybody else, because China can send troops, now that we're out of Afghanistan, they can send troops right all the way to Iran, unabated. All those countries that get along, they're allies, dude, they're a beast over there. China and Russia and all them. So one of our senators says that there's usually an agent stationed at the known high-risk sites at a golf course, like the one Trump was at. I'm not going to play this, but he said no one was there. And it just raises more questions as to, what was going on. I'm like, yeah, it seems so super staged to me. In the meantime, 1 in 4 Democrats think that the U.S. would be better if Trump had been killed. And here's one for you. Here's Kamala, because it's free. She's not reading from off the script, the teleprompter. She's freely talking to Oprah on Oprah's show. She says something out of her mouth she quickly regrets. Because it's them and it's the left, the gun grabbers. But funny how the truth always finds its way out.
I'm a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun.
I did not know that.
If somebody breaks in my house, they're getting shot.
Yes, I hear that. I hear that.
Probably should not have said that.
But
my staff will deal with that later.
Yeah.
Her staff will deal with that later. She just says she's a gun owner, and if somebody breaks in her house, they're getting shot. And they tried to walk it back because, boy, oh boy, the Trump team, I can already tell, are going to be clipping that up, and they're going to be putting it in ad campaigns. Like, we ain't even seen the ad campaign season begin, have we? Well, oh, that's right. I can't see it anymore as bad. Or I disconnected from cable and all that years ago, so I don't have the TV and commercials or any of that crap being pushed. Okay, but I remember back when there was always crazy ad campaigns, even for local, like for governor and stuff, attacking each other. All right. Here's another one. Kamala Gaffin. Somebody asked her, they call in and they're on this billboard, and they ask her, how are you going to...
Really would love to know what your plan is to help lower the cost of living.
Well, there you go. She said it. I'm going to replay it. I'm going to back it up and replay it here. Kamala's, look at her face. Look at her face just right there. She's not happy. She just got hit with this. She's a deer in headlights. She almost is like broke.
We really would love to know what your plan is to help lower the cost of living.
Yeah. First of all, thank you both for being here. And yours is a story I hear around the country as I travel. And in terms of both rightly having the right to have aspirations and dreams and ambitions for your family and working hard and finding that the American dream is, for this generation...
This is how this lady operates all the time. I can't even stand to listen to it. She gaslights the whole. She just is in a whole nother world. Does not give a direct answer. It's pretty. Ugh. You thought Joe was bad? Yeah, well, everything coming from that side is bad. So check this out. What did I just tell you about Iran? The FBI now reveals that Iran, of all people, hacked the Trump campaign and gave the materials to the Biden-Harris regime. Weird one, right? So what is it showing? It's showing that Iran hacked Trump. It's already setting the stage for Trump to go after Iran. Period. He will back Israel through anything. If Trump gets in there and Israel and Iran are toe-to-toe for anything over anything, he will back them through and through. You already know it. It seems like they're projecting that. Projecting what? The Israel and U.S.-Iran conflict. And that's exactly what it is. What you see right here. Remember, they made October 7th this day, almost like a 9/11 day. But it's a day that some of them are paying homage to. You could see more attacks or things launched around this date. This is also ominously going to be around the same time that these objects are going to be showing up in the sky, lighting up the heavens. But you never know. There could be stuff we're missing right here. It could be prophecy of some kind of religion out there that says that when you see whatever appear in the sky, it's time to rise or go to war, kill the infidels. If there's something like that floating around, we're in for it. Because these are heavenly signs. So things are shifting. When it comes to Israel, biblical Israel, everything that goes down with it. We've seen what's happened with Gaza this whole time. Well, they just stopped. They absolutely stopped bombing Gaza. They turned around. They looked to the north, and we were like, oh, gosh, it looks like they're about to wage war in the north. Well, they are. They did. Went up there and started blowing up pagers and walkie-talkies and everything else you could think of. And now there's an offensive that started. But the UN passed a resolution demanding that Israel pull out of Palestine within 12 months. For all intents and purposes, they've pretty much quit. They turned their focus to the north. But now, this late in the game, after Gaza's been obliterated, this is what they say. Oh, you've got 12 more months to clean it up. Get out of here. Up front, Biden and his administration, yeah, they are still in power. It seems like no one's in power right now. But they say there's going to be no ceasefire before they get out of office. So this administration is telling you right now, they're not seeking peace before Biden is out of here. Nothing like that. They're going to sit, everyone's going to sit here and wait this out to see what the election outcome is going to be. So this whole Israel popping off shots anywhere and everywhere, it's going to continue, is basically what he's saying. Here's a sure sign that things are escalating and not going to die down. Delta stops all flights between New York and Tel Aviv throughout the whole rest of this year to the year's end. Yep, you know what that means. Up comes these no-fly zones, and then that's when bombs start to fly. As you can see here, it says the most intense Israeli bombing since the Gaza war started rocks Lebanon. So now they're in there. They're not just blowing up pagers and walkie-talkies and all this other stuff. They're in there bombing. They're dropping big bombs all across the area in Lebanon. So they're in there. So Lebanon bans pagers and walkie-talkies and all these things on flights. Because we said this the other day. What happens if they blew one of these up and if somebody was on a plane? I can't believe it didn't happen, to be honest with you. But most of these guys, I guess, were on the ground in these different instances. But they said, look, if somebody was on a plane or in the air or anything like that, public transit, anything, it could have been devastating. But Mossad don't care. They don't care. They ain't never cared. They're the nastiest out there. If a plane would have been blown up, they'd have said, oh well, casualties of war. That's how they see it. I don't think this is over. I think we're about to see more. Damascus, Syria is on the table. Now that they're moving north, Lebanon is small. They could just start going straight for Syria next. And they're just like a madman out there, popping off at whoever, any direction. All right, let's shift it. Top of the hour. And much love to everybody out there. Let's just get an update on all this migrant and border stuff here before we shut it down. The House passes a bill to deport illegal immigrants that are convicted of sex offenses. So this is the House. Both the House and the Senate got to pass these things. But this means you're deporting only people that are registered for sex offenses. What about murderers? Huh? Things like that. What happens with murderers? Like they just let them in. Look here. Let's go ahead and go to this guy. A black illegal immigrant who stabbed a family of 4 to death. He was a murderer in the Dominican Republic before he even came here. Why are we even letting murderers in? It's insane. What, they let him in, let him come in and murder a whole family, and then throw him in a jail and put him down as being a white male. And you wonder how the stats and everything gets so screwed? They do this on purpose. White male. Get out of here. It's exactly what they've done. Chicago schools. Teachers claiming they were instructed by administrators to give passing grades to failing migrant students. Dude, this is a sham. This is a massive orchestration. Like on the size of lockdowns and everything else. This is like huge. Bringing them all in, taking them, forcing everybody to house them, forcing everybody to pass their children that can't cut it. This is, and then what? Dump them off into society, not being able to cut it? Oh, yep, that looks like to be the plan. That's the great replacement. Great dud. I'm telling you what, dude. But this is what's happening. Commie Chicago here. Teachers being told this. Well, at least some are speaking the truth, stepping up. When it comes to this border, it is such a cover-up. It's insane. I'm going to play here the ex-Border Patrol chief stating here he was instructed to cover up stuff by this administration. This administration, which means Kamala, she's a part of it. So it's like, it's not like she's like running free and like independent from this. You know, as president. No, she's still the sitting vice, man. So, watch.
To suggest that we have to build a wall across our southern border because there are terrorists who are trying to invade the country It couldn't be farther from the
An
truth.
exponential increase in significant interest aliens. These are aliens with significant ties to terrorism. Prior to this administration, the San Diego sector averaged 10 to 15 SIA arrests per year. Once word was out the border was far easier to cross, San Diego went to over 100 SIAs in 2022, well over that in 2023, and even more than that registered this year. These are only the ones we caught. At the time, I was told I could not release any information on this increase in SIAs or mention any of the arrests. The administration was trying to convince the public there was no threat at the border.
To suggest.
There you go. This is the former top border chief telling everyone in front of Congress and the whole world they made us lie. They wouldn't let us say nothing. They tried to paint the picture that everything was fine. I'm telling you, the enemies are here. They've been coming in. They're here by the millions. They're here now. They're here now. And now that they're satisfied that enough's in here, the games begin. The true Hunger Games begin. Wait till the lights go out. And then Trende and Rock One, all them are rolling around. This is such a setup. But you won't never be able to track these guys down unless you make moves now. Look at this. Let's go to Springfield, where all these Haitians are being brought in. Guess who's busted, facilitating it? The mayor. The mayor is profiting off this scheme, and it's busted wide open. Rob Rue has properties that he is renting out to these migrants, and since he is taking in these big chunks of money from the government to do so. And the people are pissed. They're saying that he is choosing money in the migrants over everyday Americans, and he's busted. He's busted. He's busted. He should resign. We'll see what happens. This is a huge conflict of interest no matter how you cut it. And it's crap like this, guys like this, selling us out. Not only is he helping invade the country and screwing his whole town over that he lives in, he's doing it for the money. The money's there. He's a sellout. He sold us out. Guys like this have literally, man, this is as bad as it gets. You're literally, it's treason. You're bringing in the enemy and lining your pockets at the same time. Man, people should be all over this in Springfield. And I'm sure there's a bunch more like him out there. So, I want to finish with this clip right here. This is a clip of a female cop fighting a drunk illegal migrant that almost got control of her and the whole thing. A bystander, another woman, pulls over and comes running up and helps. Or who knows, this drunk migrant could have very well got her gun and shot her. It says in the end she shot him in the temple. But he didn't die. He just sat there, and like she was able to arrest him then. But they took him to the hospital. It wasn't a major wound, but man, to get shot in the temple, and survive is just crazy. So let me get up here to right here.
Into my home. Into my home.
Give me that taser now.
No, no. Because into my home.
So look how that played out right next to the highway. Could easily any one of them tripped, fell, rolled into the highway, and everybody got killed or anything like that. Just another illegal migrant. Look, this pisses me off. My cousin was killed by illegal migrants, drunk driving. This exact same thing. They should all get smoked. Big time. Here, every one of them, man. I'll tell you what. This is the end of this country. Unless some huge, big, righteous thing happens here. A patriotic thing. And I'm not talking to Trump anything. I'm talking something non-political and just pure patriotic, militant in nature to save this country. If it doesn't rise, there'll be nothing left. The enemy's here. I'd buy bullets. And a lot of them. Whatever you like to shoot the best. I get to stalking. It's about that time. 11:11. So I look down. Much love. Gary says revolution. Yes, much love to all you guys. That brings me to the end of another one. I'm gonna only time the stream cut out tonight was the moment that I said bird flu. So outside of that, it went pretty good. I'll look to be back on the next one. Going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to check my channel, main YouTube channel. I'm dropping videos dang near daily on anything that's popping off, any updates, any major stuff. Utilizing the main channel right now, same one I'm live on. And surviving in times, this is like a backup. So follow me on Twitter or X. Email me if you need me. I want to thank everyone out there that's joined us again for another one. I want to thank everyone out there that's donated. Whether super chat, anyone that's bought coffees. All of it appreciated to the fullest, more than you know. Anyone that shares the stream. Anyone that keeps us in your prayers. Appreciated more than you know. So yeah, Cognitive, Granite, much love. Suzanne, thank you for the PayPal. Appreciate it. Me Puppet, Maverick, Tom, all you guys, appreciate it to the fullest. All the love tonight. Take us out of here. A little music and Eon, man. Just always coming in with the 7. Solid, man. I can't thank you enough. Everybody. I love you guys. God bless. Take us out of here. I have a different lineup on music on the next stream. But, much love, Steve. Love everybody. God bless. Thank you, Handy.